I had a much better day at work. Still a little beat up and tired, but you know, you get over it and you press on. I'm actually doing a video from the car because, as you guys are well aware, I have young children, and they are nuts right now. So there's no quiet room in my place to get the video done. So that's why I'm in the car. Now today, what I want to talk about is a topic that I have spoke about plenty of times. I don't think I've done a lot of videos on this topic. I know for a fact I've done 2 separate videos on this topic. But it's sex. Okay, we all love it. We're human. Sex is one of the best things about life. Okay? And in my personal experience, when I used, sex was not important to me when I was in active addiction. The pills did everything that I needed euphorically. I wasn't in the frame of mind whatsoever to even crave any sexual contact at all. I mean, I even didn't really pay attention to women that much. And you know, when you are a young male, any good-looking woman catches your eye. And for me, when I used, I didn't really care. I liked baseball. I liked my Mets. And I liked my chewing tobacco, and that was about it. And my pills, obviously. And speaking with, you know, tons of people, for male and female, this is very normal. A lot of people, when they're abusing opiates, have no sexual desire. They do not feel any need whatsoever to have sex. Plain and simple. So if you're in a relationship with someone who is not abusing opiates, it obviously puts a great strain on your sexual, what's the word I'm looking for? Your sexual relationship. And I know for a fact it puts a lot of pressure on people in their relationships. It ruins relationships. It's just terrible because an opiate addict, for the most part, isn't looking for sex. Now, I'm not speaking about all opiate addicts, because I have met my fair share of people who still have sexual desires and still are able to go at it every single day with their partner and so on and so forth. But, you know, most people talk out of their butt. But most people have trouble having sex. They just don't really have the desire to do it. Now, the point I'm getting at is when you first get clean and you're in withdrawals, sometimes even after the first 24 hours. If you're a male, now I'm speaking to males right now. If you're a male, you've never gone through withdrawal before, you're in withdrawal, and all of a sudden, you are the horniest man on the entire planet. You feel like you're 12, 13 again, and you just found your dad's Playboy. You are ecstatic. Things are going on downstairs. You're extremely sensitive, and you have extreme desires for sexual contact. Now, I want you guys to be as mature as possible during this video because this is a serious matter. As a man who has not had sex in a long time in active opiate addiction, you have to be aware that premature ejaculation is very real and it happens. Okay? I have people contact me all the time and they're extremely nervous to ask me, and they're embarrassed. But they ask me, is it normal for you to rub yourself the wrong way? Simple as that. And ejaculate. And it happens. It's true. Men are so numb for so long. It's almost like you've been numb with the opiates that when you stop taking the pills, you are extremely sensitive. Okay? And another thing that scares men is, are you always going to be like this? Are you never going to be able to last with your partner? And this isn't the case. You have to build your stamina back up. So for a little while, you might want to exercise a little bit, so to speak, before you do try to perform sexually with your partner, because you don't want to let her down or let him down. I'm not going to be like that, but you have to exercise because you are not going to have stamina in bed. You will not last long, plain and simple. Okay, you just won't. But enjoy the fact that you feel like you're 13 again, okay? And that you actually have a partner. You're not 13 and looking at your dad's Playboy. You actually have someone that you can hang out with. So have fun with it. I talked to a guy, now this is going back probably about 6 months ago, and we were talking back and forth for a little while, and then I didn't hear from him for a while, which is normal. And then he sent me a picture of him and his wife. Now don't take your head out of your ass. He sent me a picture of him and his wife on vacation, and he's like, man, I gotta tell you, this has been the best vacation. She is having the time of her life because, you know, it was like a honeymoon again. They were having, he's like, we didn't leave the room for 2 days. I mean, they were going at it. And it's great because he was in his 50s. They're both attractive people. And he's like, you know, I really don't understand how my wife stayed with me all this time. We hardly had sex the whole time I was abusing. He was abusing for a good amount of time. So enjoy the fact that you feel the way you do again. And just beware that when you first get clean, your stamina is going to be extremely low, and you need to work it out and exercise your sexual stamina. Now, for females too, females go through the same exact thing. When they are getting clean, they are horny as hell too. All right, so females, do not feel like something is wrong with you. It is completely normal to feel the way you do. Just be careful, both male and female, because, you know, if you're feeling like you're 13 again, you might be vulnerable to do something that you don't want to do, or you don't think the right way, and that's how diseases are contracted. I don't want to sound like a parent, but just be careful and use safe sex. Practice safe sex. Now, today's email is coming from the UK. I'm not going to share her name because she didn't really specify if I could or not, so I'm just not going to. But she said, I've emailed you before and you have read my story on YouTube before. I want to propose a second part of my story for when I reached recovery. After ending, she got off Suboxone. I feel that it's important for addicts to know. I'm not sure if you may have already touched upon the subject, she says in parentheses. But after the withdrawal period is over, the immune system seems to be incredibly depleted, which can in some cases induce more complications which addicts may need to be aware of, which may further help their recovery if they know that this can happen as a serious consequence from their use. For example, when I was in active addiction from pills, I rarely got sick, no colds, flu, etc. I hear many stories on addiction threads about addicts claiming that whilst they're on opiates, they never get sick, and hence this further comes across to me that they are mistakenly assuming that opiates are helping them avoid sickness. Obviously, this doesn't apply to all addicts, but I found an enormous number of addicts claim that their addiction benefits their current state of health. However, when I finally was in recovery, a previous serious infection called toxoplasmosis affecting my eyes that I caught years ago and got treated for with steroids and antibiotics for 3 months at the age of 17, it came back. It's a dormant condition when you catch it, but if you are stressed or your immune system is seriously depleted, it can return. So I had to go through treatment again for this because after the withdrawal of opiates, my immune system suddenly manifested itself as very, very low. My point and advice to addicts working at getting clean is to be aware of the fact that this case in point shows exactly how damaging opiates can be to the immune system, and they should take precautions to try to boost their immune system as much as they possibly can, because especially if they have an underlying medical problem such as myself, this can have a devastating impact once they are clean. If they aren't aware, I did a lot of research on opiates in general and their impact on the immune system when they are taken for a long period of time, and I personally had no idea at the time of my active addiction how much I was preparing my body to the damage to come. Not everyone will suffer as bad, of course, but I don't think it's emphasized enough from doctors. The impact of long-term use from prescription opiates is detrimental to the immune system. So, Ryan, if you have already touched upon this subject in the past, then that's great, because after reading on millions of forums, I don't think addicts are aware that during their use, they mostly never get sick. It's after their use that they must watch out for and be prepared for. It's a great topic to talk about. I don't really talk about this much, but a great thing, I'm going to put a plug in for my product, is Calm Support helps bring your body back to its natural state. It heals the body naturally, and it gives you all the vitamins and nutrients that you need. And this will greatly help this particular thing. It's getting your body healthy again. It's giving you active vitamins. And what I always talk about active vitamins, people will say, like, what's the big deal about active versus inactive? Inactive vitamins are in the majority of supplements out there right now. Your body needs to break them down and metabolize them before you can even absorb them. So if you're in withdrawal, or you have been using opiates for a long period of time, you're not healthy, your body actually has to use its energy to break down the vitamin, and you don't even get the full amount of the vitamin that's being put on the bottle, milligram amount. But with Calm Support, we used active vitamins, so you get the full potential of each vitamin. When you take that in, your body absorbs it. Your body does not need to do anything. There's no energy wasted. It does not need to be broken down into the form. Because what happens is, you see these other supplements, they have, read the ingredients compared to our ingredients, and you'll see, and research it. You'll see one name for an ingredient for like B12, it's called something, and then when it's broken down, it's called what we have in our product, if that makes sense. So I know I'm blabbing about my product, but check out Calm Support. It'll help with this particular issue. It'll bring your body back to its natural state and keep you healthy. Now, if you'd like to share your story on YouTube, it's a long video, please email me at ryan@calmsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story, and let me know if you want to stay anonymous. Use your first name, last name, so on and so forth. Leave your questions and comments below, and keep watching. Hopefully I could do a video tomorrow in my own house. Okay? Have a good one.